Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israeli troops and Palestinian militants exchanged fire during a rescue operation of missing soldiers. A senior Israeli official says that the days of the Oslo Accord in general and those of the Palestinian Authority in particular are numbered. The internationally brokered cessation of hostilities in Syria risks collapse as fighting intensifies. Two IDF soldiers mistakenly entered the West Bank refugee camp of Kalandia, located north of Jerusalem and south of Ramallah, during which residents of the Palestinian camp hurled rocks and firebombs at their vehicle, which caught fire, forcing them to flee the scene on foot. According to a preliminary investigation, the two Israeli soldiers from the elite K9 unit, Okets, tried to reach a border crossing not far from where the incident occurred, but split up during their march. Border police forces that were stationed not far from their location were called in and were quickly able to reach one of the soldiers, but for a while couldn't locate the second. Ultimately, the second soldier was located, during which an exchange of fire ensued between the border troops and Palestinian militants. 5 border policemen were injured, one of whom sustained moderate injuries, while the others sustained light injuries. They were all taken to a medical facility in Jerusalem for further treatment. The Palestinians, on their part, reported that one of their men was killed during the exchange of fire, while 10 others were injured and taken to a medical facility in the West Bank for further treatment. The killed man was a 22-year-old student at Al-Quds University. A relative of one of the injured Palestinians, who is familiar with the details of the incident, gave a recollection of the events which took place.
على حد تعبيرهم انه ما قدروش يعني يرجعوا بالسياره لانه قد حصرهم شباب المخيم. خلينا نحكي عن شباب صغار. الشباب الصغيره هاي طبعا ضلوا وراهم. بعدين هم تركوا السياره وفي النهايه هربوا من منطقه شرق المخيم باتجاه المقبره. طبعا موجه اسرائيل طبعا اخذتهم. بالنهايه بنطلع يعني فقدنا شيء.
Now to Jerusalem, where Israeli Minister Zev Elkin, a senior member of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government and a member of the ruling Likud party, asserted that the days of the Oslo Accords in general and those of the Palestinian Authority in particular are numbered. The senior minister warned that Israel must prepare for the eventuality of the Palestinian Authority's collapse, stressing that the fate of the Palestinian government would fall whether Jerusalem wills it or not. Elkin explained that the lack of an apparent successor to Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and the unwillingness by the Palestinian leadership to hold elections for the next chairman of the Palestinian Authority would result in dire consequences, which the senior Israeli official stressed would, in his opinion, deteriorate into chaos. Elkin urged the international community to stop attempting to strengthen the Palestinian Authority as a result, with disregard to the reality on the ground, because the world's attempts amount to what he referred to as artificial life support, which would blow up in everyone's face. Now to another matter, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu attended a special meeting at Israel's parliament, the Knesset, a launch of the Knesset's caucus for Israel-Africa relations, in an apparent bid to strengthen the stance of the Jewish state in Africa ahead of the Prime Minister's anticipated travel to the continent. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared during the meeting the return of Israel to Africa, during which he emphasized the importance of cooperation in the midst of various challenges.
Israel is coming back to Africa. Africa is coming back to Israel. It's happening in a big way. It's happening now, but it should have happened a long time ago. It's happening now because it's so clear that this is good for Africa and it's good for Israel. We face a multitude of challenges and opportunities.
During the meeting, Netanyahu stressed the dangers of militant Islam and asserted that cooperation on the matter with Israel would advance African countries' interests in their ability to cope with the challenges of terror, among others.
The greatest challenge we face together, the entire world faces, is the surge of militant Islamist extremism and the terrorism that it espouses. It threatens every land in Africa. In my opinion, it threatens the entire globe. Its nexus is in the Middle East, but it is rapidly spreading. It can be defeated. It can only be defeated if the nations that are attacked by it make common cause. We understand the dangers of Al-Shabaab. We understand the dangers of the other militancies that threaten your countries in Africa, and we are prepared to work with you to defeat them.
The rare meeting, the first of its kind, was scheduled prior to a scheduled trip to Africa by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Israeli leader intends to visit the continent for the 40th anniversary of the Entebbe operation, which Netanyahu referred to as a very dramatic national experience to the State of Israel and the people of Israel, and one of great personal consequences, as the brother of the Prime Minister, Yoni Netanyahu, who commanded the operation, lost his life during the famous hostage rescue. Following the meeting, Cameroonian Ambassador Henry Etundi Essomba, who attended the meeting and currently serves as the Dean of the African Diplomatic Corps in Israel, praised Prime Minister Netanyahu and said he is one of the first Israeli leaders to open, with full force, a small window between Africa and Israel. Now to Israel's northern neighbor, where the internationally brokered cessation of hostilities in Syria risks collapse as fighting intensifies. Both opposition and government officials accuse each other of breaches. Nevertheless, both Washington and Moscow emphasize that they are working together with their allies to try and make the ceasefire last, emphasizing the importance of only allowing attacks against jihadi groups.
We have agreed that while there have been some number of violations reported on both sides, and we take them all very seriously, we do not want to litigate these in a public fashion in the press. We want to work to eliminate them. And we have agreed on a process by which we will do that. There is a team of people on the ground in Geneva, and there are a team of people in Amman, Jordan, and they are in touch with each other and with people in Syria. And we are going to track down each alleged violation and work even more now to put in place a construct which will help us to be able to guarantee that missions are indeed missions against Nusra or missions against Daesh.
The American top diplomat, in a press conference with his German counterpart, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, stressed that the next few days are going to be critical in determining whether or not they are able to develop some real momentum toward a de-escalation of the conflict.
It's obvious that the next few days are going to be critical in determining whether or not we are able to develop some real momentum towards a de-escalation of the conflict. That's the goal here. And we're, of course, under no illusions about the obstacles that still exist. This is hard. But the fact is that we need to stop the cycle of fighting and of bloodshed that is destroying Syria. It is that simple.
Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7 IsraelNews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and the region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. I'm Jonathan Hessen. Have a Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.
In order to donate to TV7 Israel News, please follow these simple steps. First, press the Donate logo, located at the bottom left side of TV7 Israel News Facebook page, or on the Donate tab at the head of the page. Then insert the amount you'd like to donate, and fill in your credit card information. Just like this. And press Review Donation and continue. After reviewing your donation details, please press Donate to finalize your donation. That's it! Your donation is now complete, and an email with your donation details has been sent to your email address. You can also print your donation receipt by pressing the link here. Thank you for supporting TV7 Israel News.